This bookstore is not strictly about crime. Amidst the various books, these three things are the point of the book, and many others on this shelf, is to give people medicinal advice. It serves platitude wholeness when it's up to your mind. Various paranatural books. Several maps. The maps look old and faded.
Oh.
Your eye catches a map.
You know, it was expensive at first because I had no money, and they don't give you any money that first day. I guess.
Always good to be informed of your surroundings.
I hate you the most. I know I say that about everyone, especially Sydney, but I just want you to know that you abuse children, and I hate you. Oh, sweet. Okay. I was thinking that was the map. I was like, why isn't it in Interactables? What? I thought this was... Okay. Hear me out. Okay. If you look at the icon in the inventory for a second, I thought this was like a weird clown mask. And like the center real thing was like the clown nose. And like it had straps behind it, but that's like the film sticking out. And I was like, whoa, I have a weird clown mask. Can I put that on?
The worn map features the patchwork grid of your finger move, finally coming to a halt on the spot where you are currently standing, although the map gives no such indication itself.
Say to her that you broke the door, that'll unlock a thing in the basement.
For
okay.
a more detailed view of the map, go to your journal and...
You think the tutorial woman voice is also in my head?
You broke down the back door, the wards, the door. It's all gone now. Dark psychic
Hey, calm down,
energy
pal.
leeching onto my shop.
You're gonna hurt yourself. He just literally, like, bounced off the very top of his cage directly into the wheel. He gets so rambunctious, that little guy, even though he's bigger.
I suppose it's all over now. I guess there's no escape. Just a door? This place is cursed, Detective. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Just look at the sheer amount of companies that have failed in this house. I hope you're happy now. Happy that you've ruined everything. Now that you've broken the door, the curse is coming to get me as well.
Listen, I know it's a tutorial woman, but, like, think about it. If you're thinking about the character, he already has a necktie talking to him. Why wouldn't he have a third wall breaking female tutorial voice in his head?
Host Almighty, she prays, guard me and my honest business venture from the curse that lurks behind the door. Blessed be your name.
She literally told, didn't they? No, she didn't tell me about the curse. That would be really funny if she was like, I told you about it.
Of course you didn't. You're nothing but a policeman.
Okay.
All right.
You're nothing
You know
but a
what?
child abuser.
I'm willing to let you. But before we go on, tell me, did you encounter the malignant entity? You did? Then it has to be true. I've suspected that this woman-shaped energy must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you see that she lives inside the chimney? Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Some unnatural magic, I assume.
Hey!
You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies in the building.
Oh my goodness.
And do return to me after you've talked to it. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse.
If you're really interested in cracking this mystery, then we should go back to the furnace. Maybe you could yell into it or something. Make some noise. You'll think of something. You always do.
See, Zapata likes to pull back the mat and still pee. It's like splash guard protected, so like it doesn't really matter because it'll still like soak into the mat and shit. But he thinks that if he pees below the mat, it'll like get his scent deeper.
The lieutenant's interested
So
in
he pulls the
solving this
mat back.
mystery too.
and tries to pee underneath it. It's very annoying. It's an extra thing to clean.
Okay, but please, only a few questions. You wouldn't want to disturb the spirits. The curse is so much worse than you could imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. It's the curse of financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy.
This is how girls who read too many books be acting.
Didn't that curtain just move?
The Taliban philosophy is that if you let a woman learn to read and write, that she'll write love letters. So to protect a woman's innocence, you have to prevent her from reading and writing.
But officer, there's nothing natural
Just saying,
about entire companies declaring bankruptcy.
Probably because of people like this. So, you know, you keep encountering them and you're like, all
Feeling
right,
of bad business
no
practices
more
and
reading for
disappointing
women.
income
Because, you know,
statements.
this is what it produces, you
There's
know?
something wrong with this building, I can tell you. Ever since I arrived, I've sensed an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here.
Sounds familiar.
Truly so? Perhaps the dark energies are leeching off you. You shouldn't stay in the store too long. It may be dangerous.
The woman looks aloof.
Okay, goodbye. Can't pick this up now.
The barbell waits patiently on the floor, like a dog for its master.
Come on, talk to Kim.
It's dark. And the flashlight works a lot better if you hold it in your hand.
Flashlight go in hand.
Yes, you might even call it a feature of the universe that you need to hold tools to use them.
That makes
I'm
no
sorry,
sense
the
at all.
fundamental laws of the universe don't seem to agree with you, detective. But the fact remains that it's too dark to see in here without a flashlight. So come on, we've got work to do.
Some areas are inaccessible without your flashlight. After you've acquired it, go to your inventory.
That's what he wanted to talk to me about. I would have figured that out on my own, bro, when I was like, oh, I can't see. I should equip the flashlight. You got that thing. Is that all you want? That's really all you wanted to talk about, huh? Where's the ghost? How do I fight the ghost? Spirit, be gone. I'm gonna poltergeist it. Ooh, what's this? We've been over here? I haven't been over here. Shoes.
An iron safety curtain curves before your eyes, folded like a bellows. It covers half the room, blocking the way into a colossal industrial chimney. This must be where the entity lives. This is directly above the central furnace in the cellar. The voices probably
I
came
know
from
there's
here.
a furnace in the basement. It killed me.
What an odd thing to do. Nothing happens. Still nothing. Those curtains prove to
Ow!
be surprisingly sturdy. Your fist hurts now.
There must be another way to wake up whoever is in there. Maybe we...
Bent metal, broken glass, Your path lies strewn with the broken forms of everyday objects. You are the destroyer, the bane of inanimate matter.
Yeah, I ripped shit apart. I'm definitely taking that shit. That sounds cool as fuck. Only 2 hours? That's nothing.
As before, this is directly a
I want to look at this computer. when
tiles
Kim's
on the
here.
cube are still smoke. Like a smooth draw, the filament slides into place. On the keyboard, a bar of fat. Have you stirred the ghost of the doomed commercial area from its rest? Could this be its dismembered heart beginning to flutter? Oh no. It was already glowing and now it's also making a sound. It's probably some alien CO-like technology. The static gets louder, slowly filling up the abandoned hall, until a voice speaks out, crackling and old, cutting into the air.
Good evening, Fortress Accident en rue de Saint-Ghislaine. This is East Insulindian Repeater Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the production schedule? The filament you have inserted into the reader. Yes. Is that the production schedule?
I haven't touched anything.
If you are unsure, could you please take a look? Open the hatch on the compartment. Don't touch the wires. A current is running through it, but the core is safe. There's a filament inside. I need to know what it's called. Good. Please repeat the password.
You should ask her for a hint.
No.
A hint system is not part of the protocol for repeater stations.
I am contractually obliged to protect the privacy of the filament holder Fortress Accident. Without filing a warrant with Lintel, I cannot give you access to this filament.
I'm afraid we are not doing that, unless we want to wait for a month.
Now, can you please repeat the password? Still no. Received. I will register this login attempt.
That sounds bad. A login attempt. Something a criminal would do. Don't worry. Passwords have a way of turning up sooner or later.
Fortress Accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Good. Please proceed.
Don't worry.
Fortress Accident. Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. The filament slides out of its glow.
Didn't really have much to tell me there, did you, Kim? No, I did, and then I killed myself by kicking the furnace, and I didn't do it again.
A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace, coloring it pitch black. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. You muster all your strength and yell. You're dehydrated, hungover. A lifetime of smoking and drinking will do that to you. The chatter from the chimney continues on. Then again, maybe it's worth actually...
Maybe you should let your voice rest, officer. Try again later.
Okay.
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's very, very bad. All you fear, cop suffers. A thick layer of coal dust covers the furnace. Something breaks loose in you. A mighty bellow echoes throughout the chimney's depths. The chatter of tiny voices above suddenly cease. Then,
Hello?
you've awakened the entity.
Hello? Did you say anything? I can't hear you. Please come upstairs. There's a safety curtain on the second floor. I'll open it.
You hear a low rumble upstairs.
After you, officer.
Now I kick it, right? Come on, buddy. You can open it. You can open that fridge. You got it.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. watching over.
Good question. I know. What is even worse, the electricity bill.
Lucky us.
Just wanted to see if there was like dialogue since the body's been moved, and now it's like a normal fridge again. Like, oh, I can still smell it. It's stinky or something. Try again later. Fucking dies. Yeah. I mean, I just saved. It was just like, I don't even have to reload. Come on, here we go. Stairs are hard, I know. It's part of the character's lore. All the drugs and stuff really fucked with his fucking depth perception and motor skills.
Tiles on the cube
What am I
are
doing?
still smoldering.
I don't want this. I'm so stupid. Nerd.
Hello, I'm Nia. Did you try knocking on my window? I must have missed you. I've been listening to my Milius. So what kind of die are you looking for?
Could this be the malicious entity? Perhaps it's wise to go along with this masquerade for now. She's got a direct view to the backyard. You should interrogate her about the lynching.
Oh, God.
Then how did you get inside? By the south entrance? You know what? It doesn't even matter. What matters is that you're finally here. Let's talk dice. Did you have something specific in mind? Yes, Amelia is like a call-in station. You need a two-way radio to access one. That's why I have these. Mostly, they just teach you to swear in different languages. But some of the stations can be quite interesting. I was so absorbed, I must have missed you knocking. I'm a novelty dice maker. Tell me the name of your role-playing system and I'll make the die you need. That's why you're here, yes?
As she speaks, her bone-like fingers fiddle with a ring. Her bones light, but her hands strong.
Very good. My rate is 10 real per set, unless you want something really unusual. Take a look around and see if there is any particular stone you want to use.
It almost looks as if the stones and dice are a natural part of the room, growing out of the shelves like stalagmites. This person means you, or no one else, absolutely no harm. She will answer freely and honestly. No falsehoods are present. She's a novelty dice maker and doesn't have anything to hide. Ask what you need.
Nothing really. I didn't know him.
Who cares about a dead body? We might be dealing with a malignant entity here. The lieutenant looks at his notebook. Then the woman under the large window.
Your window looks directly onto the courtyard. You're saying you didn't see or hear anything unusual last Sunday evening?
I'm sorry, detective, but as you know, I usually have my headphones on when I'm working. It shuts out most of the daily ruckus behind my window. I might have, but in this case, all I would have seen is my own reflection staring back from the darkness.
It's light here, but dark in the yard at night.
It's really hard to make anything out in the yard when it's dark outside. Besides, I rarely get up to look out the window when I'm in the zone.
I feel you, sister.
She nods.
Anything else, officer? We're inside the chimney of an old central furnace. It's strange, I know. But when I arrived here, all the other rooms were taken, so I had to build myself a makeshift home. Besides, I don't really have to pay any rent here, so that's a plus.
Plaisance was right. There's an entity living in the chimney.
Creative.
I need chapstick.
How did I become one? It was a business decision. I was a regular jeweler at first, but that's an unfocused field with too much competition. Some of my friends were role players. They asked me to make some polyhedral dyes out of cobalt. That was my first order. I grew it from there. Not especially. I like working with rare materials and a steady pay. And role players as customers? They're nice people.
Some of those nice people have big bucks to spend on novelty items. She's thankful for the security they provide her.
Of course. Tell me what you have in mind. I think I have just the right one for you.
Police colours.
Not the most original, I know. But sometimes the obvious choice is obvious because it's best. Here, catch. They're a gift from me.
Mr. Smooth moves. You snatch the dice out of the air with one hand, just like you're in a movie.
Oh, what are the odds? The red one is made of bloodstone with a lapis lazuli inlay, and the blue one is the inverse. I believe these dice are your lucky charm, officer.
Mm-hmm.
She winked back at you. Can you believe
And
it?
okay,
You
so
truly
what's
are
the
Mr. Smooth
gold dust
Moves.
concentration in your lapis, though?
You definitely need luck in Martinez. Was there anything else? I've heard the stories, but I don't think those stories are true. Plaisance, the bookshop lady? I've heard that her business is doing rather well. Have the energies spared her somehow? Oh, right. But it's not just the bookstore that's still up and running. What about the whirling in rags? Some people say it's part of the building complex. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the east of the Commerce Central project.
Uh-huh.
And then there is me. I've been here for 14 years, selling novelty dice to role-playing enthusiasts. Not exactly a million-real business idea, yet somehow I've survived despite the talk of malicious energies. Strange, isn't it?
It's because she's in cahoots with the demons.
I agree.
Maybe it's just because she's so talented that she's been able to woo the curse.
I was just about to ask, what do you think? Do you think the curse is real?
The jig is up. The she-demon knows you've uncovered her true identity. Time has come to face the source. Fear not, for the forces of the universe are supporting you in this psychic quest.
What?
Is it now? I've always thought it's a rather mundane and boring place with no supernatural surprises in sight. Well, if you ever find a way to explain all those inconsistencies in the curse, let me know.
That's all she has to say on the subject. She's been thorough and truthful as far as we can. Plaisance is not going to like what you have to tell her.
More or less. Are you interested in anyone specific? It wasn't merely a gym, it was Artemitep's Boxing Club, a community project created to steer at-risk youth away from drugs and crime. Kuno. Who's Kuno?
He's my adopted son. He's sort of the king around here.
Oh, you mean the kid with the sailor's mouth? Yes, I've heard him yelling profanities in the backyard. I think it would take more than a gym to help that kid. It didn't. If anything, it made the youth situation in Martinez even worse. At some point, someone started a rumor that the punching bag downstairs was full of amphetamines. Eventually, the coalition took away the funding and the club went bankrupt. This was a few years ago. It's gotten much more peaceful around the plaza ever since. Oh, right. I hope you didn't try to ring me. I think none of those doorbells work, including mine. I'm still in the middle of connecting the wires. Sorry about the confusion.
The doorbell with the empty name card must belong to her then.
Yes, I've heard it used to be a gaming arcade. This is an ancient failure. Before my time.
You know, this is something the cafeteria manager might want to know.
He does know.
My advice, don't base your business. I don't know this guard, but something tells me he won't. You could say so. Both houses were built at the same time and under the East Delta.
If
told
the
me this.
Whirling is part of the same building, then it's part of the Dune commercial area. The darkness of this place is...
It can't be true. They don't work here anymore. They've been gone for years. Are you sure it was Slipstream SCA? Was it a woman? Maybe it was Plaisance from the bookstore. Oh, right. But did this person Tricentennial Electrics? It used to be a major electric company 100 years ago. Are you sure it wasn't just some kids playing a prank on you?
No, it was something else. It was eerie. It was too real to be just a prank. Either we're dealing with a professional actress, or...
Pranks can be eerie. Oh, the kids these days. We were just one of them, and now they're terrorizing us. No solidarity.
Heard.
That's right. I haven't even written my name there. As I said, it's quite useless right now. It doesn't work yet. Sure, I'm listening.
Lady, you've been here for 14 years. Stop acting like you moved in last week.
Yes, I think it was called Androgynous Orlando or something
Based.
similar. They weren't a big hit around here. Turns out that working class men don't like genderless haircuts. They're scared of that word.
You wouldn't like it either. The others would laugh at you.
No, I'm cool.
A bit of experimenting every now and then isn't bad.
I guess it just wasn't the time yet. Oh, this one's a mess. There used to be a company that promised to repair windows 24 hours a day. What could go wrong with this one, right? Turns out, the business was actually set up as a front for an illicit group that was producing snuff milias. Who would have guessed?
What's the snuff milieu?
That
Trust
doesn't
me,
exist.
you don't want to know.
And they never cleaned up the debris either. Now it's just littering the hallway and I have no idea how to get rid of it on my own. It's a sub-Rosa radio station that broadcasts real murders with real victims. Some people pay good money to get off on it.
Nothing changes in her tone as she says that, as if it's just another piece of information to lay out for the world.
Don't worry, the ICP has a separate division that deals exclusively with unlicensed sub-roses. This isn't our problem.
Good luck with that. It's not easy catching those perpetrators. You mean Mr. Fabron, the taxidermist? No, he mostly just did drugs. Anything else? There used to be a fashion atelier here, but I have forgotten the head designer's name. They were doing well for a couple of years until the insect rights activists came. Mm-hmm. The atelier produced a certain collection that used chitin among the materials. Apparently chitin is made in the Occident, where it's extracted from beetle wings.
Snuff radio doesn't exist.
And you know how all kinds of
It's not
political
real.
movements are big in the Occident. The activists shut down the biggest chitin supplier, which of course caused the price to skyrocket. And, naturally, all the most fashionable tastemakers refused to be seen in chitin from then on. The atelier went bankrupt before they could finish the collection. Really? Anyway,
Poor guy. Suddenly, you get a feeling that insects are important to the case somehow. It's hard to say why.
Because insects are the best.
they were made by a company called Slipstream. After they pivoted from making rotor blades to skis, their chief executive took off on a vacation with all their money. Honestly, I think it's quite funny. I think he's still sending out holiday transmissions from Tulula or Tumutiri or Hashkor or wherever he is. The usual, I imagine. But he's been thinking up all kinds of new business plans and can't wait to get started on them just as soon as he returns.
Men like that are a curse.
Sure, but Slipstream is history now. All their remaining assets got seized by the bailiffs in 47. I have no idea why those skis and blades are still lying around in the house. Not much use now, I guess. Fortress Accident, the radio game studio.
She liked them.
The closest thing to a real snuff film that I can think of is like when the Iraq War was happening, Al Qaeda would pay people like $100 a hit, and like they'll pay them $200 extra if they got it on video. So like anytime they killed anyone who was like the security forces or American, and they got it on video, they get paid. So a lot of these militia groups, that's how they made their money.
They were an interesting bunch. We talked about
Yeah, but
role-playing
snuff
systems
and
every now
gore is
then.
different. Snuff is a
Once,
very
I even saw
specific
2 of them getting into
mythological like
fisticuffs over Wiro.
industry that's like connected to like blood libel shit, where they like say that the rich elites like pay to watch people die and stuff. And like the closest that you get there is like the like child porn industry and stuff, right? But that's like not even rich. Well, I mean, sure, there's rich people there too because it attracts all types of
That's
people,
understandable.
you
They
know.
certainly
But like
took their
they
work
say it like
very
on the dark web that
seriously,
you can hire a
even if
hitman
they
and
seem
stuff
to
like that.
be
Like sure,
chronically
maybe you can find a
liberal with their
hitman, but like
schedules.
nobody is like these red room things where it's like you can go and watch people die on the dark web and stuff for money. Like no,
The
just doesn't
usual.
exist.
They ran out of money and couldn't get the project done on time.
The FBI like is you know, they're not perfect, but they're good enough that they would have found something like that if it did exist.
Well, I did hear them talking at times. They seemed to believe they were historical individuals on some grand quest.
She sounds almost mocking when she says that.
Yes, but when the money started to run out, they just began to complain a lot about capitalism. You know, how the markets are rigged to keep out new businesses and so on. In the end, they just didn't get it done. They didn't have enough willpower to produce something truly historic and to show up to work on time.
She's right. Showing up to work on time is important.
Still, not everyone is going to make it. That's the nature of the game.
The result is 1 on a 20-sided die. The dice is black and filled with little silvery flakes like snowfall.
Anything else?
Uh-huh. Mm. I don't care as long as fucking money goes to Ukraine at this point. And like, if there's like a silver lining, it's that hopefully like the Gaza conflict will be like basically over by the time they get to that shit. Like, hopefully, like, you know, something good came of delaying this.
Oh boy, the fabled Revo Show ICT. You're in for a treat here.
Yeah.
The place was owned by two guys who had some rather innovative ideas about marketing. The bear was one of them. Now ask me about their other ideas.
The way it sounds is Trump wants to literally make this get delayed until November. He wants the government to not function until November and blame it all on Biden.
Indeed, what were the other ideas?
Just like he wants the economy to collapse. He literally wants the apocalypse to happen so he looks better than his opponent. And I'm sure he's trying everything he can to make that apocalypse happen.
There was really just one, and it involved picking out the prettiest girls in the neighborhood and paying them 20 cents per hour to man the booth. And by man the booth, I mean slump behind the counter with a face that could maim you if you ever dared to disturb their bored magazine browsing.
Sounds like she really didn't like those girls. Sounds like she really doesn't know how to be a female ally.
I'm not talking just about women. There were also men. Miniature gorilla-like boyfriends loitering near the ice cream stand. And they already had the bear. The bear. Of course not. The bear was terrifying. No one wants ice cream guarded by a hostile apex predator. To make matters worse, the fridge didn't work too well either, and half the ice cream came out malformed and partially melted. Eventually, Ravishore Ice City lost the price war to its rival, Glace 5000. Glace 5000 sold caramel sundaes for only 5 cents a piece, out of regular fridges. Maybe, because the taxidermist who made the bear definitely wasn't. Doing his job, I mean. He said that the bear was his vision beast. He said he met his vision beast while high on desiccants. Called it Megatherion.
Sounds cool. Scary, but cool. Why is everyone doing drugs in this place? Even the taxidermist?
Megatherion, a mega wild beast. It's an imaginary beast that guides you through life by telling you to do more drugs, mostly. Very good. You shouldn't do them. You're a police officer after all. Anyway, now you know
You're
the
right.
story of the fallen ice cream empire. Anything else? Another failed business, perhaps? I've been here for a long time.
It's like Trump really makes me understand what other people go through living under like terrible fucking governments.
I'm pretty sure it still doesn't work, but sure, what do you want to know? Sure, I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else? I'm listening. Good. I hope it clarified things a bit. What else?
You feel
Excuse me. What are you doing?
Officer,
What the fuck?
Undressing in a stranger's place of business? Yes, it was an unbelievably bad idea.
miss, I apologize for my colleague's behavior.
that doesn't really excuse it, does it?
What the fuck happened? My dick fell out when I asked her why hasn't her business failed? What the fuck, dude? Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, why was he undressing is the question I have as well. The thing is that when you get to a point where it's reinforced by society, it's like there's just certain areas that are Trump towns. You can't help those people. Shivers is a skill to feel the city. That has to do with feel the wind, etc. Okay. So, so I use my dick to measure the wind. Is that what you're telling me? Can I not go out this way now? What is going on? I have a map. I can just warp, right? How do I did I not get something to warp over there? How do I do it? Can't fast travel from the building. Okay. That's fine. I didn't want to anyway. All right.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It has a hand-cranked ice cream.
But yeah, it's very annoying because my mom will come and say things because like she's not even like political, but because of how society is and how unhinged society has become, she'll fucking ask me things like if kids poop in litter boxes. How do I travel? Warp. Go. Click on the right thing. What right thing? I can't. I can't. It won't let me do that. I can't scroll over there. I can't touch the map. I'm pressing every button, bro. It doesn't let me go over there. You think I'm fucking with you or something? It's got to be one of these buttons. Maybe interact. What the fuck, bro? I found a Reddit post just explaining it. You can fast travel. Right. Okay. They literally the fucking Reddit post I pulled up. It's like it's not obvious on PS4. This is how you do it. I don't know. It says press right cross button. Shift cursor onto the map. I'm doing it. Like you can scroll through the things, but that's all. Yeah, I pressed it. Nothing happened, so I'm just gonna fucking walk there. Maybe it's not unlocked yet. I don't know what's going on. Stand in the whirling door? Okay. What? All right, I'm walking. I'm just gonna walk. I'm just gonna walk and see what happens. You know, doesn't hurt. Time doesn't pass anyway, so it's taking me longer to fuck with the map than to walk over there myself. Hmm.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing. The wind whistles through the skeleton of the small house behind you. There's desolation. Yet someone used to live here, laugh here. Thought it was a good idea to build a swing even.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation. How long ago was it abandoned?
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscur for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Life is tough in the blocks. It's no place to build a summer house. Yes, for you to pick up as part of the
Yeah, you
German
have to
shuffle.
build those in Crimea. You can't go fucking have a nice house in the blocks.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move. I don't think we will solve the murder with forays into the urban hinterland, at least in this phase of the investigation.
Oh, I can't walk over some bushes, I see. Okay. I'm surprised this even is ported at all.
Yes?
Great news. The boat is big enough for a grown man like you to fit underneath it in a supine position. I don't know. Sleeping? What do people do under boats? Huh?
Sarcastic self-pity is not what we need at this moment, officer. I understand the situation looks grim, but we must continue with our investigation.
Think of it as a salvation.
Okay, well, I guess this is pointless. I've been here. Probably, I don't know. Hell yeah. Did I just find pants under a rock? Those gotta be quality. Is this the same shack I was just in? What the fuck? I don't know what's happening. It is the same shack I was just in. shack that's over here. I found money that was in there. So let's see this back here. I see. Hell yeah. Elite gamer. It's this game where I'm actually dead. I'm in purgatory, and purgatory is like vaguely French. So that sounds what purgatory would be like.
Hi, officer.
Old woman.
Anything I can help you with?
You've graduated to Lawbringer now?
Yes.
Men with authority have their quirks. Comes with never being second guessed about anything.
Is that jewelry implant grade? That doesn't look healthy.
So what brings you here, Lawbringer?
It's actually Lightbringer.
The name is Lillian. People
Cool.
call me Netpicker.
I'm Dick Mullen,
I think I
Officer
have time
Big
for
Dick Mullen.
Ask her about the cool sword. Helps to break the ice.
Oh, she's got a sword? I'm definitely going to ask about that.
Unfortunately, the factory sold this one with a 3-year warranty instead of a story. It's to intimidate folks, mostly. Not really. I know some basic moves, and I know it sure as hell beats a knife when you're in a tough spot. It's a regular mass-produced sword, like a shovel or an axe. Nothing fancy. From time to time, people need a lesson in respect. That's just the way it is. Back in the day, I caught the eyes of many men. And believe me, men need a lesson in manners from time to time. Sure. Animosity. No, I'm afraid not. Tempting to confiscate the blade I used to keep these animals in check? You would put me in an early grave. What makes you think we haven't? The truth is that almost everyone in this life is scared and tired and stupid and too dull for that.
There was a point in time where everyone would carry
That goes for men
like
too.
a small little
But they put on
dueling
an act
swords.
for us. Pretend like everything's good and living in shit doesn't bother them.
That does not go for real men. It does not go for you. Show her. Show her the wonder. Coach means the expression.
See, that's the thing is that the existence of people would be like, what about the police? What about the police? And it's like, do you know how long societies existed without you think there was fucking detectives who would go out and find the thief who robbed your store? Or do you think you fucking killed the thief who came in to rob your store? They literally relinquished power to put security in the state, and the state doesn't look out for the people. It looks out for itself and its fucking capital. So yeah. And also pepper spray is banned in most places here. I don't think it's legal in my state. knives are. Huge knives are. You can have basically as big a knife you want, but you can't have pepper spray. Depends. Where I live, we're not. I live in New York. It's got some of the strongest gun laws. So there's actually guns in Canada that are easier to get than here.
Not bad.
For any type of like AR type gun, any type of like rifle or even a AR pistol. AR pistol's even harder. But like you can't have a pull-out mag. You have to top load them with stripper clips, and they can only hold 10 rounds. And if you have like the detachable mag, it's illegal. But unlike California, we can actually put stocks on ours. So, and then like handguns, this is mainly because they were cleaning up New York City in the 70s and 90s. But there's no like guns on the island of New York, like the city, Manhattan. And then like upstate, like there's a lot of guns in New York, but it's mostly sporting and stuff, like rifles, 22 rifles and stuff, and shotguns and shit. But like pistols, to get a pistol permit here is like insane. It's one of the hardest places to get a pistol permit, and then pistols are highly restricted. And then to get concealed carry, you need to have like a job that's like allowed like to be approved, and like if it's security, it's not one of them. So there's only like a few jobs you can even have to have a concealed carry license in New York.
Sure. It looks as if you could face down any horror in the world with that same unchanging grin. It's like a shield.
The traces of her laughter are still there, in her eyes, fading fast.
But like a shotgun, I can go buy one at Walmart.
Some went to patch their wounds, their lesson learned. Others were more thick-headed.
I could probably order
One
it
of
from
them
Walmart, honestly.
Ended up marrying.
Literally order it on the Instacart with the groceries.
Guess I enjoyed the way he bled.
If it is, then why the melancholy?
Our knives are basically unrestricted. They just can't. There's like certain things like switchblades and like butterfly knives.
Gone.
But like if it's a fucking combat knife, it doesn't matter. You can have it. Swords doesn't matter. Machetes doesn't matter.
Good for you.
The lieutenant shakes his head again.
Yeah. By himself. Inadvertently. He never respected the sea. Went out there drunk like a skunk, and sure enough, one day he didn't come back. Now, before you tell me how sorry you are for my loss, know that it was 4 years ago, and I've moved on. There's only so much mourning you can do for a drunk with sinewy muscles. Us working folk don't have the luxury to be bedsick with melancholy. I buried him, mourned for an appropriate amount of time, and went on. Life didn't really change that much for me and the kids.
This is neither a touchy nor a very interesting topic for her.
Sure is. The sun, I call her.
Can I
Coated
sleep
with a
underneath
fresh
it?
layer of tar just yesterday. It'll take some time for it to dry, assuming the sunny days continue. Let's see. Who are you looking for? I don't think I know what these are. Aha! Like snowmen. 2 odd guys have been wandering around here, nose in sand, talking nonsense about snowmen and the like. I don't really know. Further down the peninsula, I guess. I mean, that Well, how can I assist you then, officer? Like I said, fish mostly. Sail the waves, take care of the kids, pick nets. Right now I'm tarring a little skiff. I sell the fish to people in the Delta to serve at their fancy restaurants. Authentic insular Indian cuisine. Sometimes I also walk to the beach to see what the sea has given up. The sea is full of surprises.
Keep it professional, man. Don't make it sound like you're hitting on her. This is what is called a conversation. You don't have to be guarded right now.
Wood, pieces of glass. Every once in a while we see
You
dead
mean
bodies.
jewels?
Human, animal, fish, other odd sea creatures. A mine washed ashore once. Bottles, drugs also. Lost cargo in general. Most of the time it's just wood and glass.
All right. Major choice moment. You only get to ask one thing. It would be weird to say them all. Choose wisely.
Well, the RCM has to wait for another one because some army folks came by, took it in the middle of the bay and blew it up. The blast was surprisingly timid for such a huge spiky thing.
Hell yeah. Oh, poor baby. Don't cry. Oh, come on. Hell yeah. Good to know I have that.
These are some wonderfully regular pants. Not too tight, not too loose, moderate in every sense. You blend right. I know you do. These inter-Isolari pants are like wearing a perfect compromise in your nether regions.
Hell
No
yeah.
one will call the moral intern on you
My
like
bong
this.
hole.
You're a little more moralist now, buddy. A little more normal, even if you didn't want to be.
Oh god. I'm invisible. The pants made me invisible. Well, I don't know if the thought came to me to switch for the pants, so might just not happen.
You're not sure about the melody, but it might be South Samaran, possibly Sigayan, also known as the apricot sujunti.
Welcome to the fishing village. Please lean in closer. I have cataracts.
You have Cadillac? You drive a Cadillac?
I still have a golden ear. Come, come. Tut, tut. Don't be shy now. Oh, welcome, police officer. We don't cause any trouble around here.
We are not here to cause any trouble, madame.
We're cops. We're hell racers.
No, you're not. I've seen you around here before. 12 years ago. You didn't raise any hell. You were quite helpful, actually. But still, in Martinez, you're considered an ill omen. No, not you personally. I meant the RCM. Some of the men got into a fight. One of them killed another, locked himself in that woodshed over there. He was brooding, needed some help opening the door. You got it open for him and took him to think about what he'd done in a more secluded place.
She says it as if he was on some kind of spiritual retreat.
You're not. No one around here considers us an ill omen. People would have told us.
Maybe they are afraid because you're an ill omen, but you're still welcome here, as long as men with guns aren't chasing you. And maybe even then, because that's the kind of fishing village we've built. I'm sorry there's not a lot of room to park the motor carriage, and not a lot of houses, or a lot of people. My kids are long gone, searching for treasure. So are others. Ah, look at me ramble on. What brings you to us? Me? No one. Just an old washerwoman. Mother called me Isabel, if that's what you're asking. And my married name is Sadie. Now it's your turn, Mr.
You can call me Tequila
Why would I
Sunset.
do that? That's a fool's name. Are you a fool?
Yes.
Don't ridicule yourself before
That's
an
me.
old woman, officer. Not much. There's the abandoned church, the DeLorean Church of Humanity. It's been there since before my time, even. Some things just don't fly, officer. Look around. Who'd go to church here? They built it 300 years ago. Must have been nicer then.
So, they don't hold services there anymore? The Ecclesiastes.
No, we've tried, but things just keep happening. Crime, accidents, other things. The place never stays open. It's a pity. It used to be such a nice church.
She's not telling you all she knows. Keep her talking.
Well, there's that music from across the sea. It started a few days ago, and now it's blasting even through the night. And now, suspicious-looking people are sneaking around the church. I don't like that. Before you get to the church, there's some ruins, an apartment complex, or some kind of electrical plant. Run-down bunch of houses, empty. I don't know exactly. A pre-war place. It used to be something. Before the war. I wasn't here then, was born in Samara. Of note, the old fish market up on the boardwalk. but it's closed. No one. That's why it's closed. It was once a bustling place, back
Apartment
when I was
complex, I
young,
find it quite
and
simple.
so was everyone else. Now, what catch we do bring in goes straight into a lorry for the Delta or somewhere else. What? You're one of those real estate people with big plans? If you want a development opportunity, you can check out the abandoned building over at Land's End. Used to be a supply depot, we think, sending goods and ammo across the bay. It's jammed shut though. We tried to get in, see if there was anything to sell or scavenge, but it's impossible. And now you know everything there is to know about this coast. Stay? Most people here are trying to leave. That said, if lodgings is what you're looking for, I've got a free room in the shack. I won't charge you for it. Take it as a gesture of goodwill from the village to the RCM. That's exactly how they get ya. That's why we built our own cinder block houses on the seaside. So we don't have to give money to those crooks. We might not look like much, but they are ours. My kids grew up and left like they do. The house is long empty now. I live in the small side attachment. It's easier and cheaper to keep warm. Don't make an old woman regret opening her house to the police.
Well, if you are not in the hostel in the morning, I'll know where to find you. Here, in a shack.
He's a little relieved you're no longer in that room. Should he? This environment encourages one thing and one thing only: drinking.
Just us. It's barely a village anymore. We almost don't exist. This is pretty much a non-place. A gap, a blank spot on the map, just a cluster of nameless shacks on a nameless street.
The place is so pornographically poor, it's not even funny.
The lack of wealth is the one thing we've got in abundance.
Riddles. Fits with the general ambiance here.
Sometimes it's as though I'm also gotten lost inside this nameless nothing. Oh, it seems to be a common theme these days. Isn't that what people always think when they are lost? Over there, you can find more of the same. Shacks and trees growing wild. That's the pox. An old military hospital and its surroundings. Or it used to be, during the time of the suzerain. After the war, it was turned into a goodwill hospital for shell-shock veterans and folks looking for some quiet in the old sanatorium gardens. Now the area is crisscrossed with nameless streets and makeshift cinder block houses, shacks as far as the eye can see. The goodwill ran out. The staff left and the place was shut down. It's long gone by now. Well, there's Lillian and her kids. A few new folks live in the house to the east, but they are away right now. And then there's the drunks. Not a pretty sight, but there's little we can do about it. Home is home. Lillian is tough. Tougher than the men here at least. Sooner or later, you'll see for yourself. Here, for you, no officer.
Under carts, boats, in little boxes. She nods, rinsing.
Boy, I paid attention to, like, nothing she said, honestly. Okay, sorry about that. No, I'm stuck. No, I'm stuck in some bushes. My guy can't get out. I thought that was water. Below you, under the houses. I don't understand what that means. I can't understand where the path is. These houses? There's a shovel in the sand. Can I play in the sand? My perception high enough? Do I need a higher perception to play in the sand? Do I have the perception shoes on? I do. Not there, south. Okay.
A drop in temperature, an easy flow there. An empty street. Before you, a thoroughfare unjammed with lorries. No more drivers smoking on hitched steps. Chemically sweetened. Across the road, a forgotten bus stop. Corrosion has opened a hole in its roof. An elm tree watches over the building. Its branches are dripping with rain and snow. The road is smooth and motley. Craters filled with a black asphalt. The asphalt, first laid, is grey already. A row of tenements are under construction in the distance. A tub warm with water, white with soap. A man bathes while radio waves transmit the lottery numbers. 4, 18, 21, 4, 1. A modern washing machine rattles a drawer full of silverware. His boyfriend is on his way home. He brings tins of meat and vegetables with him. Their pockets are heavy with money. Number 312D. Young girls used to come here, huddled up, hoping for. Craters pocked the surface. Children played in them until heavy trucks full of black pitch rolled in. The landowners have filled the craters with money. There's one bump on the road. A dead dog lies flat about 200 paces away, right at the turn. Tragedy comes from the wheels of a fast RCM vehicle hurrying to work. The cold washes over you. The sound of the sea has grown distant. The wind moves the aerosol. A detective stands behind the boom barrier. A breeze moves a curl of his hair.
The fuck? I'm shocked this game was even able to be ported, honestly. Oh, I just realized this is like a street thing, dividey thing. Okay. Well, if I had a thought, it's gone now. Hobos.
The noxious odor emanating from the drunken man is strong and familiar.
Don't you call her? Yeah! Don't call Abigail!
You really don't have to. Besides, he won't understand you anyway.
Abigail. Oh, Abigail. Abigail. Don't you fucking call Abigail.
Abigail is his wife or girlfriend. Chances are she's gone. Calling her wouldn't make it any better or worse. You're not going to get anything out of this guy. He's too drunk.
Don't call Abigail.
The man hiccups, then mumbles something.
Don't you fucking call her.
He snorts and beckons you to lean in close.
Don't call Abigail. Don't.
There's no use in yelling at drunk.
The drunk man starts coughing, a really disgusting, hacking cough.
Don't call.
There was little chance he'd be a reliable witness anyway.
Okay, buddy. I am always saying this. Don't call Abigail.
Hey, Tequila! Good to see you. How's business? How's the whole reality situation treating you? So what's happening? Yeah, Tequila Sunset. How are the, high-concept, reality-based adventures proceeding?
He says it like it's obviously your name. Like you call someone Billy Brunel or leader of the 4th Street Gang. Good. These people know your true name. Looks like it has preceded you, Mr. Sunset. More on that later.
That's the spirit. I used to shape reality into my image a long time ago. Those days are over now. Sadly, things aren't going that well in Idiot Doom Spiral Land. Haven't found those keys yet, haven't won that great piece of ass back. No word from my business buddies.
This guy's your buddy. You feel it immediately. You belong to an organization, a fraternity of drunks. Idiot Doom Spiral, huh? This is bound to be a good, high-concept conversation. At last.
We are saving the world.
Please don't call.
Okay, we're drinking. We're drinking alcohol. That's what we're doing. I tried to save the world once, a long time ago, with enterprise, creativity, and willpower. But that didn't work out.
I can tell you where you went wrong.
So now it's a pirate's life for me. It definitely is. Oh, do I? Of course. Don't you remember?
No, you sure don't.
Aha. Do you want to know how Tequila Sunset came to be?
Tequila Sunset. Something ominous there.
You think you feel bad now. Wait till you've heard the story.
No. You need the wisdom.
Let me take a sip to moisten up my cords. Tequila Sunset rolled into Martinez last Friday. And by Tequila Sunset, I mean you. The man, the myth. Hey, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. This is your story. Stop interrupting. You got here on Friday to solve a case, hoping to be the early bird who gets the worm. And by the worm, I mean the buzz. Because as far as I know, all you did was get piss drunk. Word on the street is you went around the local hostel telling people that you're a police officer, and that it would be really fucked up if you shot yourself in the head right in front of them. That's pretty high concept, if you ask me.
It is. The lieutenant's brow is furrowed. He's listening as casually as he can.
Hey, man, I'm not judging. This life's a valley of woes. Some of the highest concept people in history have killed themselves and been drunks. Either way, it was a late Saturday night when we, the Union of Moribund Alcoholics, got our drink on. Nothing remarkable about this. We get our drink on 24/7. Makes everything warm and glowy. I trust you know the feeling.
Nope.
One moment we hear the sound of a motor carriage revving up somewhere on the plaza, followed by a series of dings and bangs.
Do you remember the sound of wood cracking? The billboard?
Naturally, loud noises pique the interest of anybody owning a pair of ears. That's just the reality we're in. Anyway, there was a brief silence, a gasp of silence, if you will, followed by a real commotion. We heard the carriage careening towards the coast at top speed. Sounded like someone jumped the canal. We grabbed our brewskis and rushed to the jetty. Never underestimate the speed of an alcoholic. What we saw was a sight to behold. A beat-up police carriage containing you. Right there on the beach. You revved the engine and screamed at the top of your lungs, "The time hath come!" So, naturally, being the curious cat I am, I asked what time hath come. To which you replied, "The time hath come for tequila sunset, the end of all things." Yeah, looms. Why not? Then you jammed the pedal and plowed right off the jetty and through the ice.
Your hands cramp on the steering levers.
We ran towards the ice whilst you crawled your way out, miraculously unhurt, covered in seaweed and shit, like some kind of sea monster.
That's right, I'm the Leviathan.
When we finally got there, you were sitting on the beach crying. You said that your badge and uniform were in the car. It was too late to get in there, though. The carriage had sunk too deep. Recognizing a brother in need, we offered our condolences and invited you to party with us, which you naturally agreed to. We asked about the whole tequila sunset thing, and you told us it was your name now and insisted that we all call you that from then on. I'm not sure. I think you were the event. Tequila sunset. You know, as opposed to a tequila sunrise, which is long gone.
I don't want to tell him my real name. That's stupid.
No, that's just what your mother called you. Your real name is Tequila Sunset.
Thank you.
Just embrace it, brother.
Thank you.
Hours. It was an all-night drink-a-thon. Then, at some point, I think it was Sunday morning, you got belligerent and wanted to talk about Revacholian women.
Sounds weird.
How they're beautiful and also whores and so on. How one of them fucked you real bad. After a short while, you crossed
I'm
the
gay
event
now.
horizon, looked sullen, got up, and left without saying anything.
Wow, that's quite a story.
Yeah, I bet Tequila's a fucking legend around the precinct. You must be proud to work with him.
If you only knew.
Thanks, Kim. What a cool guy.
You were pretty vague about it, but you kept saying you got fucked real hard, and that we've all been fucked too.
What? What the fuck?
You feel something in your chest, an unnatural pressure. It's spreading very. All you cop suffers.
This game's too hard for me to play. I'm not talking to you again. I'm gonna wait a little while. Like, is this under the houses? Can I go in here? What's going on? Buy heals. I don't know where to do that. Is this room? Is this the house I'm supposed to be going under? I can't do anything. Oh, okay.
The door has seen better.
I'll be sleeping in my room in the whirling. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
On the table, you see a bowl of water, a rough soap, and next to it, a small hand mirror. A straight razor soaks inside the wash basin. The water reflects back a vague image of your face. Nose bulbous and red, hair unkempt, wrinkles lining the eyes and forehead. The stash is gigantic.
Oh, yeah, I know.
You'll be looking like a pansy without the chops. A fucking pansy.
I didn't even want Kim to leave yet necessarily. Where can I buy heals? The store. What is the store? What store? The store with the girl who reminds me of my old roommate? Yeah, I can move it now. I just can't touch those fishing shacks, I guess. Just the church in here. Oh wait, no, I am at the fishing shacks. Nah, okay. No, come on, bro.
A metal You hear the tone. The machine is inoperable. Calling. Still calling. This feels wrong. Should you be doing this? End of tone. Someone picks up.
Pierre, is that you, Pierre?
you to find the time to call me. It gets so lonely. Even the animals have died. Are you sure you're Pierre? Your voice, it's different.
You won't survive the phone.
Chrysanthemum.
Oh God, one of these chrysanthemum ladies.
Her voice is drowned in white noise. Sounds like waves washing a beach, growing in volume until the call suddenly disconnects. You get a sinking feeling. It makes you look if Lieutenant Kitsuragi overheard you. To your relief, he did not. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut in front of you. The rectangular sea-worn ornamentation appears in stark contrast to the padlock, carelessly drilled into the wood. The padlock passes through a staple that's been hastily attached to the wood. Closer inspection reveals that one of the screws is not a screw at all, but a nail. The work has been done recently and is unprofessional, to say the least. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the whole thing off.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough mistreatment.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior delinquency, somewhere east of here.
Let's bust him.
There's something on the sea ice there. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp and a staple screwed into the wooden door. The lock is adorned with a yellow sticker. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like a mouth. You're pretty sure you haven't seen it before, but what the symbol depicts is clear enough. A smiling dead guy. The curve makes it smile, and the X's make it dead. There is something blindingly modern about this symbol. Its modernness puts to shame everything you've seen before. It's the contrast between the cheery, chemical yellow and the rigor mortis. As if the cheery guy didn't know he was dead, or the dead guy didn't care that he was. Either way, you get the sense the forces of future are at work here. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean before inspecting the sticker. Then he looks up, pauses, and replies.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minors between the ages of 10 and 16 who have committed an act in violation of the law. These acts aren't called crimes as they would be for adults. Crimes committed by minors are called delinquent acts. This was part of your officer's exams. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not part of my skill set.
Nothing happened.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the door The surface is smooth from the wind, but the carving on the doors remain unchanged, closed with a padlock. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. You jam the pry
Hell
bar
yeah.
between the lock and the staple and apply force. Your biceps bulge from the strain. The metal creaks and squeals. The pathetic old wood, rusty screws, and one nail stand no chance against the forces of leverage. From deep within, a bellow rips. Suddenly, the pry bar snaps. Metal shavings fly everywhere. The upper half, between the lock and the staple, falls to the ground with a thunk. The broken edge of the snapped pry bar is smooth. Took the tip right off.
Tools break, officer. Try to control yourself.
For example, see how calm I am, although you broke my favorite pry bar.
I don't know. You don't? Or maybe we'll find a new one.
How do you,
I don't carry more than one pry bar with me.
how do you break one of those, man? That's like one of the best, like, if you were to pick one apocalypse weapon, that's the one, because like they never break. You know, they're made out of like hard fucking iron and steel, and you can beat people to death. Like one hit with those things in the skull and you're dead. Can open stuff with them.
I thought this was a lousy way to enter a place of worship that's already in disrepair. I guess the church agreed.
Oh my god, you're so lame.
Anti-Object Task Force. Behold, the Anti-Object Task Force has assembled, God's avenging angel, arrayed against the lower emanations of the Darkened One. Shoe racks, tape recorders, motor carriages, and doors. So many doors. You're not just pounding it all to pieces. You're reforging the universe, from the anvil of the heavens to the worms below. Indulge in it. Be bold. Have an impact on the shape of creation. Out of the furnace of your rage. A new reality. Also, you should trash your room again.